What's up YouTube, Dal here from Zephyr Wargames, and today I'm bringing you a duel from local. So on the left you've got myself playing Dinos with the brand new Xeno cards, and on the right we have Charlie playing Dragon Link. So he starts off with Quick Launch, special summoning out a rocket, and that's going to be able to get him into Striker Dragon. Now both of these decks are actually really kind of cool because a lot of them have quite a lot of gas, and they can be both aggressive and defensive, so hopefully we'll be able to see the best of everything from both. So off of Striker Dragon he's going to get into the field spell, and that's going to allow him to add a couple of rockets onto the board. He does make a minor misplay, which, well, I say minor misplay, it basically, well, you'll see in a minute that he accidentally gets rid of his Tracer Dragon when he shouldn't. So he's got the Black Collapse in the hand, and he summoned down the Tracer Dragon and then went into Spheres when what he should have done is he should have brought down the Black Collapse first, and then you should have brought down the Black Collapse first and used Black Collapse to go into Spheres rather than using the Tracer. So he kind of got the two mixed up a little bit, and you'll see that because he actually attempts to make Baron. So he banishes Striker Dragon off of the Magnamute, and then he goes to make Baron thinking that he's got Tracer, and he obviously didn't use Tracer's effect to pop the field spell to summon out another rocket. So that's when the misplay happens, and it's like, ooh, that's going to be costly, because if he had done it the other way around, he would have guaranteed a Spheres and a Baron, and then his back row, which would have been very annoying, because trying to play through like a non-target bounce of Spheres and the Omni negate of Baron could have been very dangerous, plus his back row, which in future you'll see that it's an imperm, which can actually be very dangerous, which means he has to make a really weird play here. So rather than leaving the two on the board, he goes into that. I've also got to drill into him as well, so because he keeps forgetting the Magnamute end phase effect. So, because I mean, that then adds him another form of interruption. Like I said before, he's a little bit green on this one. I just kind of wanted to showcase the Dinos a little bit. I do have another duel as well to show you, but yeah, hopefully Charlie can watch this back and go, okay, I now need to, you know, like people used to get tattoos of, not that Charlie should be getting a tattoo, but end phase Scarm. It's always like end phase Magnamute, so it's just trying to remember to always do that, because that will come back to bite you in the backside, which we will see as well a little bit later on. So he's now passing turn again. He could have set up a little bit more, but my hand's pretty good in general. Like, I've got Fossil Dig, I've got Baby, I've opened up the Frost Saw. Like, I always open up the vanilla. I'm like, really? So we activate Fossil Dig. There's not really any negate on the board, so it's just like, I don't know, he doesn't have an Ash Blossom in the hand. So resolving the Fossil Dig, and this is going to give you direct access to whatever you want. I think I usually just go for Misk, because I've already got Overraptor, I've already got Baby. It's like, well, with the Misk, I'm just going to protect myself from Spheres and everything else. So we're able to kind of build off the back of that as well. We're then going to normal summon the Ovi's effect, and the idea was, or what I wanted to happen, is I wanted him to try and attempt to activate the Spheres. Not sure why though, because it wouldn't have given him much benefit. He would have attempted to bounce back the Overraptor, but the idea was that it would have chained the Misk and then protected everything anyway. So also trying to see if he's got anything along that back row that he might have wanted to attempt to use on it, but he holds it back, assuming that he's going to hold it back for something a little bit more dangerous. So I go into the brand new Xeno Meteorus, because purely, like, as soon as I destroy a Dino, I'm in like dreamland. So that's very easy to do, because you've got like Misk, which can only set you up with Archosaur that's going to pop a card, and it doesn't matter how it's destroyed, it's just as long as the card is destroyed, it sums itself down. It's a level 6 tuner. So we're going to activate Misk. This is now the point as well where I think it's unfamiliarity with the Dino deck from Charlie, because if I've had to use Misk not in response to one of your effects, that's when you can go, okay, cool, well, I can now chain any of my effects, and that returns the Overraptor to the hand. It wouldn't have made a massive difference, because as soon as, even if Overraptor returns to the hand, like, it would have changed some of my playstyle, but because I still had the Baby in hand, Misk into Archosaur still allows me to pop the baby in hand, and Archosaur's fully protected. So that will then give me a double evo, which you saw for turn. I drew a double evo as well. So these are the reasons why you play 2 double evo pills, because sometimes you just want to get that baby destruction. And I'm going to trigger the baby effect as chaining 1 and Xeno is chaining 2, so we get to chain protect our baby, which again is just something that is such a minor thing, but being able to protect baby with stuff like the Xeno is absolutely insane. So that's going to give me Petite Pterodon, and now I've got a baby in the graveyard, I've got a baby on the board, so I can do the Oviraptor pop and swap. So pop the Petite, summon back the baby, trigger the Petite, summon out a level 4 or higher Dino. And the reason I did this was to get into Prankatops, because Prankatops is a way to attemptively deal with either the back row card or the spheres, purely because as soon as I go to battle phase, spheres just goes, okay, cool, bounce my biggest threat, and then no longer protected. So you kind of want to get rid of that first. And I mean, the back row can't be anything too damaging because he hasn't used it as yet. So it's like, okay, well, whatever it is, even if it is an imperm, it's just a trade 1 for 1. Not to mention I'm not locked into anything, so if I wanted to, without using the Xeno effect, I could go into Baron. But as soon as I use the Xeno's effect, I'm then going to be locked into dragons, sea serpents, worms, or dinos. So Baron is off the table. So now it's just debating on, you know, what does Prank hit, the front row or the back row. So we're going to use Prank to get rid of the spheres. I think it's like just a fair sacrifice for the pure fact that I still have the Xeno ability, so it clears out the space for Xeno to summon down the vanilla, but also pop the baby. And that's the idea, is I've now just got another way of destroying the baby, and that's now going to give me access to Scrap Raptor. So I can still get into Chenying, which would be a nice little buff, because, you know, if I can banish a card, or if I can, you know, attempt to try and destroy the Chenying, I can then, you know, banish one monster from the field and everything else. So banish one monster from the field, banish a card from the grave, and be in a good position. So now it's really just, okay, well, how far do we go? Now that we're Dino locked, where do we want to try and take this? So I'm just debating on the Chenying in there, and it's like, well, do I just go straight into Scrap Wyvern? Now, again, this is a bit of a misplay because Charlie didn't double check that Scrap Wyvern is actually a dragon, not a dino. So he could have stopped this, but it basically would have been a swap. So I do the Wyvern effect, bring back the Raptor, chaining 1 Raptor, chaining 2 Wyvern. So Wyvern lets me special out another Raptor from the deck, and then Raptor lets me add the Chimera. Then I get to pop a card on the field, which is, again, this is where I popped the back row, and it was an imperm, and I was like, bro, like, my Wyvern's not a dino, it's actually a dragon, you could have stopped that. So the only difference would have been is I wouldn't have got the Chimera, and I wouldn't have the Raptor on the board, but he would have done a 1 for 1 kind of swap. I still have the ability to get into UCT, and I still have the ability to kind of clear the rest of the board off. So game was still there. Obviously, we're not worried about Nibiru. If he wants a Nibiru, I only lose the Wyvern, but we know we don't have that because he went through his entire hand in game, or like at the start of the turn. Now it's just all about, like, I mean, not even clearing board really. So it's just getting a non-dino to the graveyard. That's kind of where I've messed up a little bit, is I wanted to get a dino to the graveyard a little bit earlier. So we're going to pop the Oviraptor to give me the additional normal summon. We're going to do the additional normal of the Chimera. I didn't even bring back the Raptor from the graveyard off of the Chimera. That's how bad it was. I was just like, okay, Cerberus, pop the Romulus, and then I should have been drawing a card off of the Cerberus. So it's just me rushing too far forward, because it's like, I've got game now. I was like, I know I've got this. Now I've cleared out the back row, there's no worry or anything. I've obviously got a UCT in the hand as well, so it's like, okay, cool, I've got access to 2 UCTs, one off of Pill, and then banish 2 dinos, summon out the other one. It's like, that's guaranteed game. It's like the first UCT sends the White Wyvern, burns for 1,000, and then the rest is going in for complete game. So that's it for game 1. Unfortunately, the camera died for game 2 and 3. On 2, I bricked quite badly and Charlie beat me. And then on game 3, I was able to kind of build up a board that Charlie couldn't break. It was like UCT, Baron, and a little bit of everything else. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.